CrowdStrike, an IT firm. It's a global issue right now, a communication system that runs check-ins at airports, keeps flights on time, and banks running appears to be down. This is also related to Microsoft.
Fox's David Spunt CrowdStrike saying this was not a security incident or a cyber attack. Former President Trump, somber and bandaged, closed out the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, accepting the party's nomination days after an assassination attempt.
If the events of last Saturday make anything clear, it is that every single moment we have on earth is a gift from God.
Trump and his vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, are expected to hold their first rally as running mates this weekend in Michigan. America is listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
Oh, may I be the first to say TGIF.
Got that right.
Thank goodness it's Friday. And
Yes.
thank goodness I don't have to water my lawn or garden or, backyard or the watering trough. Okay.
Still some drizzle coming down this morning. It was
Yeah.
nice. It's cooled down.
It's cooled down, but it's muggy out there. And it's, it's thick, as they say. As
Right.
They used to say. Anyway, good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
And good morning. I'm Lee Barrows.
And Kelly may be back on Monday. She's the most adventurous flying person I've ever been around, and I've decided after her current situation that if I ever see her on an airplane that I'm scheduled to fly on, I'm
Getting
changing
off,
flights because hers ain't going to get there at the
Right.
appropriate time. It'll get there sooner or later. Well, either that plane or a different plane with a different crew or whatever. Anyway, she's had an adventure, shall we say,
Mhm.
with her. Yeah, I thought Chicago was going to be an adventure, but that apparently was a piece of cake for her.
Yeah.
So everything else, what a holy
Well, you
mess.
know, the chances you take every time you board
Oh,
an
you do.
airplane.
And then we just hear on
It's always
Fox
something.
News about some kind of a
Glitch.
a major glitch and affecting travel all over, everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's something to do with the carrier that manages their web. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just a glitch. It went out, so they had to ground all the flights and delay them. And
I'm
I'm
going to
like,
have to take another look at airplanes and figure out what the actual cost is for me flying from here to Bonaire, for instance, and figure out what the cost of gas for my boat from here to Bonaire is. Because
yes.
I'll be more likely to get there with my boat.
Yeah, well,
long as I don't catch fire.
it's that time of the year where you
Yeah.
have those afternoon thunderstorms all across the
Mhm.
United States, and that definitely will affect a flight,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, we're everybody's looking at all of the weather and whatever. This is not a hurricane we've got going on out there. We did have some nice thunderstorms overnight, late night.
I heard a few rumbles from
Oh,
and
well, it did.
there's some lightning.
I thought a helicopter at first because I believe it or not.
Yeah.
I have now watched a big chunk of two portions of a convention. I watched chunks of it last
Yes,
night. Chunks of it,
yes.
not all of it. Not some of it I was not impressed with. Some of it I was hearing them people playing on the heartstrings out there, shall we say? But
Right.
I thought a helicopter was landing in the backyard last night at one point in time.
Really?
Yeah, when that thunder started, I had to turn the TV and muted the TV and said, "What in the world is that?" Oh,
That's what I do. Mute the TV.
the cat's outside and the rain was coming down and the thunder. That's when the thunder and lightning started. And so, well, the cat took a break in between the showers.
Yes.
He came running in, and Robbie got the towels. 'Cause
Oh, yes.
he has two little hiding spaces, but he still got wet.
Yes.
And then he
Mine
wanted to
will
be
do
dried
that.
off.
He'll walk in, then rub up against my leg, and he's just so wet.
Yeah,
I'm like,
wet
"Oh."
cats are not always a happy cat.
And they generally don't like being toweled off. I
No,
mean,
they
mine is pretty good, but he just gets all down on the floor like, "Oh, don't do that," but he
Mhm.
loves it.
It's gonna-
It's
yeah,
a
too
crazy
bad.
cat.
Well, the final day of the 2024 Republican convention is now what they call history. Not too many surprises last night.
No.
A lot of pomp and ceremony, though. I don't think I've seen that much production
Yes.
and in any presidential conventions anywhere, party conventions.
Out of all the ones I've watched over the years, this one was probably the most well put together.
Very well produced. It was like a
It was well
production.
produced. Yes, exactly. The different speakers, it was amazing how
Different
they went
speakers,
from
entertainment. Kid
Yeah,
Rock, gotta
yeah.
be kidding me.
Oh, Kid Rock. Oh, he loves Trump now.
Well, apparently Trump likes him.
Yeah, they've been friends. I think they said Trump said for about 10 years.
Yeah,
But
so.
yeah, when Trump first started stumping for his first run, Kid
Mhm.
Rock became a huge fan.
Yeah, got it. Then, of course, Lee Greenwood was there last night.
Do you
which
know?
I was pleased with that. I was
Yes, and watching him, what did you think about him? Watching him, he was vibrant.
he was subdued, but he was in a somber situation here.
Do you know he is 81 years
Yeah,
old?
I do.
81 years old, because I'm like, he's getting a little old now. I looked it up to see how.
Is he 81?
I was shocked. 81. See, once again,
Wow. It's not
people
the
wear their
age.
ages differently.
It's not the age, but everybody has issues with age at some point in time.
Right,
So-
exactly. I
you
mean,
will slow down.
heart's been beaten for 81 years. Is
Just imagine what he would have been like when he was 35. That's
I-
what you need to
I remember,
take a look back and see.
I remember him coming here to Jacksonville many, many, many years ago. This was in the 70s, late 70s, 80s.
Mhm.
And of course, we had security on the show. And I remember meeting him and, but watching him last night, I could tell, I said, he's put on a little bit of age.
Yeah,
And so I looked it up just to see 81.
that's impressive.
81.
But anyway, congratulations to him, to the production folks out there.
Yes. Yes.
And
Oh, my favorite was Mary Melvin. She's a singer, actress. And when she did the national anthem, did you see that?
no, I did not see that.
Oh my
I
gosh.
cannot watch nonstop for that length
Yes,
of time. Okay?
yes.
Period. So I timed myself for some of the highlights. I was flipping back and forth and sometimes among the news
sure.
channels and looking for commentaries and whatever.
Mary Melvin.
And I can't sit there and nonstop and be glued to it.
Right, right.
Not as long as I got some
I might
watermelon
have
and some fruit in
earlier-
the refrigerator.
That in the evening dozed off for a few minutes, but I popped right back up because I wanted to see the finale of the convention. But they had this, she's a singer,
Mhm.
and her name is Mary Melvin, and she sung the national anthem, which, I mean, the whole thing, there was extra verses. It was just so beautiful. And when she hit the high notes, I'm telling you, I expected the windows in my house to shatter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, it was beautifully done,
Oh, good.
beautifully arranged. And if you're any kind of an American and watched it, I know you teared up.
Yeah, well.
It was great.
I didn't watch it, so I didn't tear up, I guess.
Yes. Well, you can catch it back on a YouTube clip or something.
Probably
you
not.
know, I loved it.
I guess former President Donald Trump, now the official nominee, right?
Yes.
Not any surprises in that. He accepted, like, not any surprises. It would have been a big surprise if he had stood up there and said, you know what, I've kind of changed my mind last Saturday. I don't want to do this anymore. That would have been the surprise, right?
That would have been a shocker.
We'd probably come in here and go on the air live.
Yeah, we'd be like,
whatever.
whoa, in our pajamas, breaking news.
Well, he's now going to face somebody. We don't know who yet. It's getting more and more less likely
Yes.
that it's going to be
Well, it's a
Joe
50% chance right now.
I don't. First of all, I don't know how that could even work. Logistically, what would the Democrats do? Just here's a towel, throw it in, or what?
Well,
It's,
from
and the thing is, if he's not fit to run, as a couple of other people mentioned last night, which I was already talking about, if he doesn't think he's fit to run, if other people don't think he's fit to run, how can we depend on him to run this country from now until January?
it's just like I have said before, there's no shame in getting older.
No, not at all.
It's life. And I thank Joe Biden for stepping up to the plate and taking over the role of president for the last 4 years. and being president, may not have agreed with most anything that he's done, but still, he was the president
That's right.
of the United States, and you have to respect that.
I can't do like other people say he's not my president. Well, he is your president.
Yes,
if you're living
exactly.
in this country,
And
he
that's
is your
what I
president.
mean. That's
he is
what
my
I mean.
president.
But I think the time has come for Joe finish his year off, hopefully, and I think it's time for him to take a back seat for the rest of
Well,
his
that's
life.
that's fine. But if he's going to not run and is being forced out, which he is
Right.
because of his
Yes.
condition,
Right.
then why is he able to finish his term? That
Well,
6 months, 6 more months.
probably for the same reason that a lot of the Democratic leaders are saying no, they do not want the VP to step up
Well,
to be
I understand
president.
that.
They don't even want to nominate her to take Biden's place.
So
If he steps down.
yeah, but then what are they going to do? Because
Well,
I
you know who's
they're
next in
a
line?
quandary.
Speaker of the House.
Yeah, well,
We'll take that.
they can't pass over her.
Right.
to go to the speaker,
Exactly.
okay?
That's right.
Now, if she resigns, that's one thing, but that's not going to happen, I'm sure, because she's hoping beyond hope that can come to pass. Even
there
if
was
it's
talk-
even if it's for a month or 2 or 3, whatever.
There
she's
was
hoping.
talk about invoking the 25th
Yeah, I've heard
Amendment.
that.
But what do you get when you do that?
To get her.
That's right. And they won't get the votes for that. Well, here's some of the influential Democrats that have been floated as alternatives to Biden besides Harris, because, of course, out of respect, you're going to float her first. Popular cabinet members and Democratic governors like Gavin Newsom from California.
Kiss of death.
Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan,
Mm,
because they seriously want to go after Michigan.
mhm.
Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. And those are the three names that are floating right now, according
Whoa. What happened to the great governor of the great state of North Carolina?
Well, you know
I
what?
thought they were buddies.
He may be on a list, because it was rumored a while back.
North Carolina's state plane has flown into Washington, D.C. a lot over the past year.
And passed over a year or so up to Massachusetts and some of those other states up there doing fundraisers, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's the word is by this weekend, they're hoping that Biden will
Yeah, they are.
step away from running again.
Well, he gave himself the absolute perfect out. And earlier this week in an interview, he said, I'm going to run unless there's something medical about me that I cannot run.
Be careful
And
what
then
you
the
say.
next day, he's diagnosed
Yes.
with COVID.
Right. And even though it's been reported, I'm glad it's Friday, it's been reported that it's very, very mild.
Yeah, supposed to be.
He looked
At 81 in his physical
really,
condition, he's not good.
he looked really weak.
Mhm.
And they were showing him coming off of Air Force One, going back on it. And even when the Secret Service had to help him to the vehicle, he looked extremely feeble.
Yes.
So, and like you say, for an 81-year-old may react differently to having a mild case of COVID
Yeah, he doesn't
than
need
what
this.
you or I may react
He
to.
just doesn't need this.
No, he does not need it to it. And he's going back to, I think he went back to New Jersey for the weekend. Is that where he
Not-
went?
If you go to
Delaware?
New Jersey, he should have gone to Delaware to the beach house.
I think they said he went back to, I'm not sure.
What's in New Jersey for him?
Doesn't he have a home there?
I
I don't know. I listen to so many things on the news. I can't keep
I
up.
don't
And
know.
I won't talk about that. I'm going to tell you what. I never really, you hear about different news outlets having different opinions.
Oh, God, yes.
My gosh, it was so obvious last
Mhm.
night with some of the other news channels that, there's this one female journalist if that's what you want to call it. It works for MSNBC. Her name is Joy Reid.
Yes, I know her.
Have you
Know
heard
of her.
what comments she has come out with?
It won't surprise me.
Oh,
whatever
it
she
was
did.
more or less saying like, yeah, he didn't get shot. Oh, it's just all fake
heard
and
that
blah,
earlier.
blah, blah. And if he's getting all this attention for allegedly getting shot, why shouldn't Biden get the same kind of attention for getting COVID? Well, which would you rather have, a bullet wound or COVID?
Neither.
Well, true, yeah, but see, there was a choice between the two.
I know.
I think I'd rather deal with the effects of COVID than I would having a bullet.
Well, it depends but where that bullet's going to go.
Yeah, really, really.
There are some places that, it's not a good place.
I mean, I would rather deal with COVID than having to duck rounds
Yeah.
being fired at me.
Well,
It's
Trump
just-
was a different man last night, even in the audience, sitting there and
Right.
waiting.
Yes.
His grandchildren, one of them ending up in his lap, yawning,
Yes.
twitching her hair while her daddy was up
Yes.
on stage.
And his little grandson, he was just all over, and you
Yeah.
could see Trump like, you need to sit down.
Yeah, but Trump is a different person there, and Trump, even on stage last night, he was trying to act like Trump used to act to
Yes.
a certain extent,
Right. He
trying to
reined it
be
in,
still
yeah.
that bravado personality, but it came across he was a human.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want people to know he's a human. There are a whole lot of people who just don't want people to know that they really have a normal side
Right.
to them,
Right.
a soft side, some will say.
He used very little of his old Trump rhetoric. You know how Trump will, when he's
He
talking
mentioned
about
the
somebody
Biden
else.
name twice,
Yes.
all in one sentence.
Yes. And he said he wasn't going to do it again the rest of the night. And he did not go after the people that in the past he generally will sit there and
No.
go after.
Didn't need to.
But no. And I know some of the other networks are criticizing him now because his speech was 93 minutes long. Okay, first of all, there's not a timer when you're at a convention. Telling your nominee you've only got so much time. The RNC made this not only a convention but like a party,
Mhm.
and it was a unity party. And if he wanted to talk 20 minutes, he wanted to talk 93 minutes. There's no timer on it.
Nope.
And it was a fast 93 minutes. I mean, I looked at the clock and I knew we were heading towards midnight, but I took in his words, and not only am I taking in his words, when they're panning out to everyone there, you could just see a difference.
It was a major difference.
It was a major
So,
difference.
anyway, well, and Eric did an okay job last night. I think he's still got a bit of an attitude that he's probably having to manage. More of an attitude than Donald Jr. and much like his daddy had before.
I think Donald Jr. did better. I
He
enjoyed
did.
him better.
Absolutely. He
Yes.
was calm, cool, collected,
Yes.
and sort of. I'm the I'm the elder. I'm
Yes.
the elder son here, and this is the way it should be done. It's got to have some.
Of course,
stuff.
now you've talked to Donald Jr. because he's called in here.
He did.
I actually met him at a fundraiser in New Bern.
Mhm.
Him and his now wife Kimberly were both there, and it was a whole different type of getting. I mean, I met him. We didn't become friends, our buddies or anything like that, but I got the opportunity to meet him and listen to him speak, and it's different when he's away from cameras. It was really
Yeah.
fun and enjoyable. But
Well, I saw him at the SHOT Show in Las Vegas a few years back when we went out there.
that's
but
right.
but I was doing radio at the time that he
Yes.
was, when we saw him across the room, and I'm like, I can't get to him.
right.
Of course, he had a small Secret Service detail
Right.
with him. And, that's something to think about here, too. There were 3 large floors. I mean, these at that convention center in
Mhm.
Las Vegas, they were loaded with more guns than our entire armed forces have.
Right. Oh wow.
I'm not exaggerating here. There were enough guns up there to last forever. And the son of the president of the United States walked by and did not get shot by one of them.
You know.
We got to take a break.
Oh gosh, we talked that
Yeah.
long, that fast?
Hurricane forecasters are still predicting that the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season is 85% more likely to be more intense than normal. NOAA is forecasting between 7 and 25 total named storms. That's winds of 39 miles per hour or higher. And we've had, 3 named storms so far?
Yes.
That means we've got at least 14 more to go. Whoa. Of those, 8 to 13 are likely to become hurricanes with winds of 74 miles per hour or greater, including 4 to 7 major hurricanes. Those are categories 3, 4, or 5 with winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. We've already had at least one of those. Experts warn us that severe weather can happen at any time, and that's why we need to be prepared. Today's severe weather tip is brought to you by John Stars Electric, your Generac generator dealer. Why is the increase in hurricane activity predicted? Well, we're transitioning into La Nina.
Yes.
La Nina conditions, which are conducive to Atlantic hurricane activity. La Nina, or Nina, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm not in the Spanish world, tends to lessen wind shear in the tropics. The La Nina conditions, which are conducive to Atlantic hurricane activity because La Nina tends to lessen wind shear in the tropics. I did not know that. Less wind shear, storms can build up and be bigger. Hotter ocean waters in the tropical Atlantic and Caribbean creates more energy to fuel storm development. Forecasters encourage us to prepare for the worst conditions. Yes, we can hope for the best, and with careful planning, we'll be ready just in case. For the basics, the very basics out there, we should have flashlights and extra batteries, a portable battery-operated radio and extra batteries, first aid kits, emergency food and water for the entire family. Don't forget your pets. A manual can opener. Oh, you didn't think about that, did you?
Oh, I have
A
one.
manual can opener. Local maps, especially if you're kind of new to this area, in case you need to move to a shelter. You can get these county map, Onslow County, and go ahead and go online, and you can just put some little red dots on your county map where these shelters are, just in case you have to evacuate. You need to have your essential medicines and supplies ready. If there are those in the household who require special food or medical equipment like oxygen, remember that you may be without electrical service for an extended time. Therefore, you should have some extra bottles of O2 around, just in case for those who are on oxygen. High winds accompany hurricanes. Duh. Make sure your property is protected before the storm. Bring any items that may blow around, such as garbage cans and lawn furniture, inside. If you don't have a place to put them inside, get yourself some rope, all right? Lash those things together and then tie them to something that doesn't move around. Best thing to do. Reduce the danger of flying glass by boarding the windows with fitted plywood. Tape does not prevent windows from breaking. You can tape them all you want.
I
But
know.
the wind's going to blow them in. It's going to blow them in. The only thing tape will do is to kind of keep the blown in glass sort of intact so it doesn't scatter as much around your room.
Right.
That's about all it does. Store supplies as high as possible off the floor. You got a lot of rain. It's going to come in under doors. It's going to come in through windows. It's going to come in through openings. Store them as high as possible off the floor, especially goods that could be in short supply after the storm. Toilet paper, paper towels, things you're going to need.
Right.
You store them up high. If you've got food products, especially non-canned food products, don't put those on the floor. Get them up as high as you can in your house. These are great tips you should include in your advanced preparations. Commercial power will likely be interrupted for hours, days, or a week or more. This might be the time to actually reach out to John Stars Electric, bite the bullet, and install a standby Generac generator. The Stars team can handle the entire process, including the design, inspections, installation, and testing. Why not take the opportunity to power up your life with the John Stars Generac generator? Give them a call today, 910-989-1908. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with your weekend weather forecasts. Don't go away.
This is Chris Rainer. Tune in later this morning at 9 a.m. for Sports Talk. As we start our high school football previews, we have Coach Jonathan Bird of the White Oak Vikings, Coach Kelly Davis of the Dixon Bulldogs. We'll also be talking about the Woody's Roundup, Racing Report, and This Day of Sports on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
My brother-in-law died suddenly. And now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-290-5599. That's 1-800-290-5599. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-290-5599. That's 1-800-290-5599.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
It's hot outside, but the summer heat does not keep Mix Masters Concrete of Beulaville inside. They can handle the heat and that concrete project on your to-do list this summer. When it comes to ready-mix concrete, nobody does it harder or quicker than Mix Masters Concrete Incorporated, Highway 24 East in Beulaville. Whether you need concrete for an outdoor kitchen, residential, commercial, or agricultural project, Mix Masters Concrete Incorporated can handle it. And they all of Eastern North Carolina. From driveways, patios to livestock housing, Mix Masters has the concrete. And owner Scott Thigpen will gladly provide a free estimate with delivery on Saturdays. And KPT Masonry specializes in professional concrete finishing. Again, nobody does concrete harder or quicker than Mix Masters Concrete Incorporated of Beulaville. So, when you need call Mix Masters Concrete of Beulaville first, 910-298-6153. That's 910-298-6153. Mix Masters Concrete Incorporated of Beulaville takes this time to thank those who serve us for our most prized possession, our freedom, and is proud to be a part of the continuing growth of Duplin, Onslow, Jones, and all surrounding counties. When it comes to paint supplies, whether a contractor or homeowner, since 1957, people have depended on Jacksonville's premier paint store, CNS Paint, for all their supplies and accessories, as well as providing expert knowledge and helping with a particular paint project. CNS Paint, with locations in Jacksonville at 6 Doris Avenue, 504 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point, and 105 Wayne Drive, Morehead City. CNS Paint is close and convenient to cover the Crystal Coast with quality PPG paint for any project, residential or commercial. Color is often the first impression of a home or community. PPG's team of designers, experienced in both new home construction and residential repaint, have compiled over 2,000 color schemes to provide you with a selection that appeals to homeowners. A beautiful and lasting paint job starts with quality PPG paint. For more information, phone 910-455-0210 or visit CNS Paint, 6 Stars Avenue, Jacksonville, 504 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point, or 105 Wayne Drive in Morehead City, or online, cspaintcenter.com. CNS Paint, Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957.
Summer vacation season is here, and if your plans include hitting the road to do some traveling, then make sure to visit your Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle. A trip to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind, with the best value on all name brand tires, and the largest selection of used tires in the area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. And one is really nice is there's no long wait time. Silent Service Center knows you are busy and will have you back on the road in a hurry. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And the Marine Weather Outlook is brought to you by Community Prevention Services right here in Jacksonville. The latest stats are very disturbing. I got them yesterday from Kelly, who's been out in a conference like we've been talking about.
Yes, yes.
An average of 200 Americans die of fentanyl overdoses every single day. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes, every day.
200 Americans die from fentanyl overdoses every day in these United States.
It's horrible.
What are we doing about it? We got to close the border, number one. This raw product for this killer drug is being shipped into Mexico, for the most part, where drug cartels are using special presses to produce pills that look exactly like legal prescription pills, sometimes over-the-counter pills. The pills have the same name stamped on them, same name of the drugs imprinted on them. They're the same color and shape of the legitimate pills. These guys go to a lot of trouble to fool you, or at least get it by the feds. Given that the cartels are not concerned about the end result, and their quality control leaves a lot to be desired, the amount of fentanyl can vary significantly from pill to pill. Fentanyl is highly concentrated. It does not take a much of it, a pinpoint, to kill you. A little bit of it, like they use for medical purposes, highly regulated.
Yes.
Under control by the people with a lot more smarts than some guy sitting in some shack down in Mexico stamping out pills. They don't care whether they get a little extra couple of grains in there. They don't care if you die. There will be somebody to take your place, somebody else they can hook on these killer drugs. It's extremely concentrated, and the doses can mean the difference between a drug and immediate death. 200 times a day, someone dies from a fentanyl overdose in this country. If you want more information, because it's happening here in Onslow County too, if you want real information, you want to know about the dangers of fentanyl? Don't listen to me. You want to know about other drugs too? Don't listen to me. Reach out to Community Prevention Services. Not only can they provide you with great information, they can help with substance abuse issues you or a loved one is having. Community Prevention Services is a locally owned and operated facility. The counselors there want to help you. It starts with education. Give them a call, 910-353-0972. They accept most insurance plans, and everything you talk about with them is strictly confidential. All right, offshore today, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 4 feet. 4-foot waves from the south every 6 seconds, meeting 2-foot waves from the southeast every 9 seconds, creating that little turbulence where they meet. Not a bad day, just exercise caution, especially around the inlets, sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop again. And okay for the first day of the 8-day Carteret Community College Spanish Mackerel Tournament. 5 o'clock this afternoon is the last chance you'll have to enter this fun-filled family event. Check the website for Carteret Community College Spanish Mackerel Tournament for details. Tomorrow, or Sunday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. Second day of the tournament, sounds even better. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop, but it's going to be kind of wet.
And today on land, showers and thunderstorms are likely. Mostly cloudy with a high near 87. 87. Cold front. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 73. Showers and thunderstorms are likely. Some of the storms could produce heavy rainfall. Saturday, showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 90. Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 90. Showers and thunderstorms are likely. Looks like we're in that pattern because of course, this could all change. But I was looking at the weather forecast for the next week. Showers and thunderstorms 50 to 60% every single day. It could change.
There's means 40 to 50% every day that it won't rain.
Yeah.
Where you are. The thing is, all the weather forecasts that they give you for regional weather outlooks, that includes a whole bunch of counties.
This is I looked up Jacksonville, but I'm just saying that we're flipping now back into a pattern of rain.
And the offshore forecast, We do it from the Cape Lookout region down to
Yes.
North Topsail Beach. That's what they call the Onslow Bay. The beaches up to the north end, closer to Cape Lookout, and north of that, it's a completely different weather forecast. So
Right.
the marine forecast is going to be different. That's
Yes.
why we give it to you around
And
here.
just so you know, the waters along our
Hot.
shoreline here, Onslow County, 85.6 degrees.
Wow. They've increased a little bit already.
Bathwater,
It
yes.
is looking nice. As challenging as this past week has been for the Donald Trump folks and the Republicans, all of that is somewhat overshadowed as the Democrats are trying to figure out how to kick President Biden to the curb. Top Democrats have gone to Biden telling him it's time to bow out, withdraw from the race. This because of his rapid downhill decline that became unchallenged pretty much by everybody at the Biden-Trump debate last month. Biden has remained in denial, saying he's in great shape and is prepared to do battle with Trump. Democrats not accepting that, and they're doing everything in their power to convince the president to step aside graciously. Otherwise, it's a distinct possibility, perhaps a likelihood, that Biden will not get the nomination at the Democrat convention next month. That would probably be a first. I don't know, but I haven't checked. Added to the amount within the party, it will be anything goes after that. However it goes down, who will go up against Trump? That's the big question. You might think it will be the Vice President, Kamala Harris. That might reduce some of the sting in the party, but I don't think anyone actually believes she can win. It would serve to further divide the party that some think is already in a shambles. So is there anyone at the moment that the Democrats could throw into the mix that could actually beat Trump? Possibly. But it would have to be someone that Democrats and independents who detest Trump. It would have to be someone who the Democrats and the independents out there who just hate Trump could actually vote for. I didn't say support. So I'm not sure who that would be. For my 2 cents worth, it might be best to allow Biden to continue to run. If Trump returns to his old ways, jumps on X or Facebook and makes a fool of himself, Biden could win re-election. I doubt it right now, but I guess anything is possible. The DNC could stop, bank its money, and start looking for a viable candidate to run in an open election in 2028. Whatever they do, they might want to find someone who could go head-to-head with J.D. Vance. I'm just telling you. He certainly looked like a breath of fresh air, regardless of party affiliation, on Wednesday night. I was pleased. Those are my thoughts, none of which has anything to do with how I will vote in November, by the way. Your thoughts and your opinions are encouraged. 910-333-0139. If you want to talk, do it now. Don't wait till the end of the show because you won't get here. We got to cut people off about 8:50 every morning now. Otherwise, we won't get through all the work that we got to get
We
through.
want you to call early enough so we have time to argue.
I don't want to argue. I just want to listen to you. I want to listen to your reasoning. Okay.
I just want to call. I want to argue. No, just
Yeah.
kidding.
You want to argue. I don't.
No, I don't want to argue.
You just want to fight. You need to
Yeah.
join the Marines.
Well, I told you, and I'm not going to go into all of it, but yesterday I had a day and a half where
Yeah, you were
everywhere I
ready to
went
fight.
was rudeness, and it was just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, okay, you need to go home before you lose your mind because it was just crazy.
And hurt somebody.
And then, and hurt somebody. That's why I told my sister I'm staying in the house because if they go back out, I'm going to hurt somebody. And that's just a joke between us. But then I thought, okay, well, I have not renewed my tags yet. I've got my state inspection.
Oh, fine.
Let-
Good luck.
It took me less than 5 minutes. It was a pleasant experience until I went to pay. And what used to be like a courtesy fee of $3.
There's nothing courteous about a fee.
Now it's $11.74. And I'm like, what happened from last year to now?
So here's what I think. One of the reasons you're doing that is because of this new DMV over here, right? It's license plate office.
I've been doing it online
I
for
understand,
years.
but,
Yeah.
but for the same reasons.
Right.
You're jammed packed.
Yes.
You're always got to wait.
Yes.
Virtually always have to wait.
No patience.
No patience.
Right.
If other counties, there are more than one license plate office in many, many counties.
Right.
Maybe we have reached that point. Maybe we need to open up a second one here in Onslow County.
I'm all for
Senator Lazara, we need to talk.
I'm all for it. I know there's a lot of issues going on with getting a license.
It should not be any issues. It should be totally automatic. And if you're doing it online, you're saving them money.
Getting your IDs. I have a friend, like I told you, that is, went to get her grandson's special ID because he does not have a driver's license at this time. But you need some sort of identification in order to get a passport. So it's been well over a month. I mean, they went down there. They had to turn in birth certificate, the other pertinent information. They took the picture. It used to be back in the day, because I used to take my mama to go get her special ID, where you walked into the driver's license agency there. They took her picture. They took her information. She had her documents. They laminated a little card with her picture on it and everything and handed it to her. We walked out the door. We were good. But now it doesn't work that way. Now all this is sent off to a private company.
Not even in North Carolina.
Not even in North Carolina. That makes these IDs and then mails it back.
Yeah, buddy. That's working out really well for us. Government overreach.
It's just crazy.
You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
Casey Kasem has unlocked the American Top 40 Vault and is replaying original shows from the 70s. This week, Casey takes you back to July 21st, 1971. That's when Chicago was feeling stronger every day. Bobby Boris Pickett was doing the Monster Mash. Billy Preston asked, "Will it go round in circles?" And the Carpenters remembered Yesterday Once More. You'll hear those songs and all the top 40 hits from July 21st, 1973, right here on American Top 40, the 70s.
American Top 40, Saturday mornings, 8 to 11 on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
How are y'all doing, Richland's Piggly Wiggly fam? Your week is about to get a whole lot better because we have some whole Boston butt for just $1.79 a pound. Toss it on the grill and have you a family barbecue. Fresh Springer Mountain chicken thighs and drumsticks for $1.29 a pound. I don't know about y'all, but I love me some fried chicken. Pair it with some fresh snap beans for 99 cents a pound. You just can't go wrong with green beans. And don't forget to grab some local North Carolina grown seedless watermelons for $3.99 each. You'll need a refreshing snack on these hot summer days. Stop by the Richlands Piggly Wiggly this week for a smile and delicious deals.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Drs. Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to paint painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text stop to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
I had to rearrange a couple of things here. All right, here we go.
In between the jokes.
What jokes? I don't know anything about jokes.
The jokes.
One thing I saw last night was video of 4 of our senators, U.S. senators, confronting and attacking the director of the Secret Service.
Yeah.
They were not asking her questions. They were berating her, not in Senate chambers, not in her office, not even on Capitol Hill. They attacked her on the sidelines in front of a lot of people at the Republican National Convention. To her credit, Director Kimberly Chadle did not respond. She just continued walking. And then they berated her for not talking to them. She's scheduled to appear at the House Oversight meeting next Monday to answer questions about the assassination attempt on former President Trump. We all agree there was something amiss. There's something wrong. Pretty much everybody knows there's something wrong. But these 4 looked and acted like a bunch of obnoxious rookie reporters or members of the paparazzi, not as trusted members of our U.S. government. I've seen videos of wild wolves with more class.
Mm-hmm.
Do not get me wrong. She has lots of questions to answer, but not under the conditions I saw on TV yesterday. This was an assassination attempt. You owe the people answers. You owe President Trump answers. That's what Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn shouted at her. The senator is right, but her challenges to the director were at the wrong time and the wrong place. Director Chadle has sensitive information. I want y'all to think about that for a minute. Maybe she's got sensitive information about this whole security issue or the investigation into the attempt to kill Trump. Matters not. The 4 senators should understand that while they're each 1% of the entire Senate, 1% ain't much of nothing. They amount to pretty much nothing when considering the entire Senate. Children, please behave. We do not know. We have heard already. We know that the Iranians are proposing an assassination of Donald Trump.
Yes.
And other people, not just Trump. But we know that they're doing that. As part of it, payback. We know that's what their plans are. We do not know about those 27 telephone numbers on that extra telephone that the attempted killer of President Trump had. He had a second cell phone. He's 20 years old. He's a communications tech, computer savvy. He had explosive devices. He had a remote control to trigger those explosive devices in his vehicle parked nearby. What else do we not know? What else are the plan? What other plans are there? Were there other people there? Was there another shooter perhaps there? Was there another intended shooter there? We do not know. Where did he get his marching orders? We do not know. On the floor of the Republican National Convention was not the place to find this out.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Not sure why she was there. I probably would not have been, but I guess she wanted to put in personal appearance, which is not a bad thing to do after last weekend's mess.
I am sure that there will be a complete investigation, and we know Congress is already setting up a committee to investigate it and calling her in.
Well, yeah, that's that House Oversight Committee. They do their thing. That's an oversight committee just to see things are kosher.
Right.
And they will get some answers, but they're not going to get all the answers. The investigation is underway, and the Secret Service is not in charge of the investigation, y'all.
Right.
Hello. You've
And-
got Homeland Security, but the lead agency is the FBI. They are Federal Bureau of Investigations. They're investigating. Whether you like the higher ups in the Bureau or not, that's not even part of the plan here. It's the brick agents out there, the lab techs. They're the ones that are going to break this whole thing. They're the ones that we're going to find out what's going on, what went down, how it went down.
Right.
But Homeland Security is also looking at everything, including the FBI
Right.
and the police. That will Secret Service, of course. They can look at everything. Give it a break, people. It's been less than a week, than 5 days ago.
No, people have. I mean, as soon as it happened and they whisk Trump off, people were demanding to know and criticizing different agents. And I'm not even going to get into
No need to, because they were acting like children. They didn't know what to
social
do.
media.
Oh God, that's nothing social about media.
And
about that stuff.
the things that are being said about individual Secret Service agents, the body
Personal
shaming, the personal stuff. Come on.
And you know, those who are casting those stones, have they been to a mirror lately?
Well, to think about it is, how would you feel personally if somebody attacked you on social media, body shaming you or making remarks about you? You would go off, right?
Yeah, I would. but
Not you personally, because
No.
I know you would just ignore it and go
I
on.
don't. I wouldn't even
ignore
read it.
and go on.
That's the thing.
I do not respond to it. And if you've seen mine lately, it's puppy dogs. But the thing about it is, how does that make you any better?
Mhm.
It's just crazy to me. Some of the stuff that's been, and we discussed earlier, a Yadkin County.
Yeah, we got to take a break though.
Oh, we do?
Yep,
Okay.
we're late. Let's take
All
a break. We'll talk about that and more when we come back. And we did have somebody to rang once or twice, and of course could not even see who it was. So
Because Lee won't quit talking.
give us a call back if you want to. We've only got a minute or so here right
Right.
after this break. You're live and local Real Talk. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for summer. And you should be too, with the Cub Cadet Ultima Series. Come today and see how these zero-turn mowers have stepped up control with traditional lap to a familiar steering wheel experience. Four-wheel control provides precision, maneuverability, and stability on a variety of terrains, including hills up to 20 degrees. Adjustable automotive-inspired high back seat lets you comfortably cut at your maximum speed, while a heavy-duty mowing deck powers your yard for a premium cut. Combine steering wheel control with premium features of the Cub Cadet Ultima Series, and you get a zero-turn mower ready to unlock the possibilities of your lawn. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and a superior service.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Home Connections of Beulahville is connecting people with the American dream of home ownership. In addition to single wides, double wides, and modular homes, Home Connections offers custom building and land home packages throughout eastern North Carolina just for you. Whether it be a single wide, double wide, modular home, or custom built dream home, Home Connections will make it happen. Home Connections sincerely wants you to have the American dream, your own home. With a variety of floor plans and amenities to choose from, finance options available. Home Connections can make owning your own home affordable and simple. 50% of new home buyers at Home Connections are through referrals, and references are gladly provided. For your convenience, Home Connections in Beulaville is now open from 9 to 6 Monday through Friday and 9 till 2 on Saturdays. Beautiful homes, friendly staff, and financing. All you need to do now is call Bobby or Reggie, 910-298-3387. That's 910-298-3387, or visit ourhomeconnections.com.
Home Connections, Highway 24, Beulaville, on your way to and from the beach.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
If you're looking for a home, or perhaps you want to sell your house, why would you not pick a realtor that knows Eastern North Carolina? Candy Brown Thompson has lived her entire life in this area and knows the territory like the back of her hand. She's a realtor with Century 21 Champion in Jacksonville and is known as a professional that will do everything possible to find the right home to meet your needs. It matters not whether you're looking for a small starter home or you're ready for a larger home. Candy will stick her neck out and check out homes throughout the eastern part of the state. She's known to look high and low and show you as many houses as you want until you have found the perfect house you can turn into a home. Throughout the process, she'll treat you with grace, kindness, and integrity, and you'll love her sense of humor. For a realtor dedicated to her clients, give Candy Brown Thompson of Century 21 Champion a call at 910-787-5600. That's 910-787-5600.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
We're back. Gonna have to take a break here just a couple of minutes, but right now it's the one, the only. It's Bill. Where you been, Bill?
I've been right here in Jacksonville.
Okay, good.
But I was calling. I guess I never saw any of the stuff for that shooting of President Trump, but to say thank goodness he's still alive and hadn't gotten seriously hurt. I think a lot of the commentators there that address the Secret Service and the local security and all the people involved in trying to protect the president and any other candidate. They're looking for a fault. The only fault lies with the shooter.
And whoever hired him or was involved, if there was somebody.
Together, that's where the fault is. And if you have plans to break a security issue, you see bank robberies, you heard of them, and you look at all the things that banks do to prevent robberies, etc. Yes, they still occurred. And this is crowds and crowds of people, and they're moving fast from town to town across the country. And it's I don't know how they keep up with it myself, but
well, it's a challenge for them. Just knowing some of those guys, I know it's a challenge for them because they go into a different town, different location. They have an advanced team that goes in, and they try to scope out every scenario. They talk to the local authorities, local police, and where are the weak points. So they will ask questions. They will go up and they do their own surveillance. They take pictures. They do all sorts of things in an area, and they try to come up with the best plan they can come up with. But there's always something. There's no way to guarantee 100% the protection of any person, any man, woman, or child that's going to be out there in the public's eye. You cannot guarantee it because some people are willing to do the ultimate deed and they don't mind dying. That's the scary part. I've never had problems with people that were afraid to die. You understand? Because I could convince them to do right. But somebody who's hell-bent to do something and they're not afraid to die, guess what? They're tough to deal with.
Yeah. Well, I know. And I know just from like the visits we've had from presidents coming to Camp Lejeune that it's like a magnet for every weirdo and every person that feels they have to test the security to come out and try it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like thousands. It isn't, you know, just one or two people. It is thousands that come and try and do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there were lapses in this security. There were warning signs. This little rangefinder, which is a golf course rangefinder, is not one for a rifle. It's not one to sight in a target or anything like that. It's for a golfer to get the range from where he is so he can pick the right club for it. Now, this guy was using it for other purposes, but it was not on the ban list. They came across it and they said, well, this is a guy we need to take a look at. But, you know, well, what do? It ain't illegal for him to have it. It's have it there. So what do? You should keep somebody on him. Now, here's where the rub is going to come. How many people were not on that detail that should have been on that detail? We don't know. Was there a shortage of manpower? Key question that will be asked on Monday.
Yeah, I would guess you never have enough people to cover every person that wants to test it.
No, you can't.
And it's like I said, a magnet for when just here locally when the president had made the visit. It was also a magnet for just every person to try and test it.
Yep.
You know, and I won't get into some of the things that I encountered, but it was just I was just amazed at how many people showed up to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and just jam things up and cause other issues that would take away from the immediate attention of the president, just to draw people away from it. You know?
Well, the one thing, if they show up in Jacksonville, given our population here, who our population is, and you know the brave warriors that we have around here, who are not going to be doing anything stupid like that. If the locals see somebody who's weird, that's kind of hanging back, you know, they look at them. They'll even have narcotics officers out there looking to see the weird-looking people out there because you know narcs can pick out strange people in a crowd in a heartbeat. You know how that works. But you can do things like that. But they will know who the locals are who may be troublemakers. And those are the ones that they get pointed out. They point out to Secret Service. So we're lucky here. We just don't have that same breed and that same kind of magnetism that they have in a lot of areas. Okay, Bill, we got to go. We got to get this break out of the way and do some Fox News.
I remember though from like Beirut, you know, and just a
do too. I was here.
But when that blew up, you know, that there were huge riots in LA to draw people into that. They had the Grenada thing go down at the same time with Cubans. But that same kind of issue goes. That's a bigger scale thing.
All right, got to run, Bill. Thank you.
Anyway.
All right, you're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME.
Camp Lejeune, W246 CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster.
I am running to be president for all of America. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet.
Former President Trump accepting his party's nomination for the third time, talking about the attempt on his life last weekend in detail. He says for the last time, says there was so much blood. Talked about the supporters at the rally who were shot. One killed. Corey Comparator's funerals today. A global tech outage grounds flights and affects banks and hospitals. Some systems are coming back online.
Earlier, about 100 911 centers in the U.S. were reporting outages. No indication this is any sort of attack, but it appears it's some sort of software update across the globe.
Fox's David Spud. The issue appears to be caused by a software update to CrowdStrike cybersecurity software. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
We're back. We're back. Live and local real talk. And Kelly's not here, so I'll put up the microphone anyway.
Okay.
You're on Kelly's mic.
Yes.
That's the Kelly mic.
Yes. I like to just jump around seats a lot.
Yeah. You probably did that cakewalk thing way back when in grammar school, didn't you? Wasn't it a cakewalk?
Yes.
The music would play.
Right.
Or chairs where they would have
The
chairs for everybody. What was that called? Musical chairs?
Yeah, musical chairs. And then when the music stopped, you had to grab a chair because while the music was playing, they would slip a chair out.
I would just pick up a chair and carry it with me.
That's cheating.
That's efficient.
cheating. That's cheating.
All right, Steve-O, how's it going?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good
How y'all
morning.
doing today?
All right, we're dry so far.
I got you. Yeah, we've had a little bit of rain. It's been nice. I ain't had to move the sprinkler around though.
Love it.
I imagine not.
Well. Hey, guys, I wanted to touch on a couple of things this morning. The first one is the female Secret Service agent.
Yep.
I happened to catch a video of the attempt, and I watched it several times. And I think if you go back and watch it, something I noticed, and I don't know if you might would notice it as well, when they formed a human shield around Trump, when they pick him up off the ground, there's an opening in the front where there's an agent not present. And just to the left of the screen, there is a male agent, blonde hair, approximately about 6'2", is trying to get to that spot, and he can't get around the podium. That female agent sees that and jumps in that spot.
Yep.
Yes,
I don't
she
believe
did.
that was her spot. I believe that 6'2" agent, which was the tallest agent there, the protocol would have been the tallest agent filled that spot. But he couldn't get to it. And,
Yeah, they were
I
throwing
believe
that
she
podium
was in a
around. I will
quasi-
tell you that
Yes.
they were chucking that sucker around trying to get around it, and it wasn't working.
He was trying, yeah, right. And if you'll notice, it was that blonde agent that was trying to get around that podium. He was snatching at it, trying to get around it. He couldn't get around it, and
But
so
she did.
jumped in that spot.
Yep.
And so that to me that changes things. You know, she did what was necessary, not what was planned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
You got to go with the
maybe
flow
that would ease
sometimes.
Everybody's criticism a little bit.
You got to go with the flow sometimes.
And did you see what I saw, Steve? She laid her head up over his heart on his
Yep.
chest and wrapped her arms around his body.
She did a bear
She
hug.
did the best she could with her
Yes.
little body to try to protect him.
Exactly.
But that's not the person they would have put in that spot. And then like I say, once I've seen the guy that should have been in that spot. It was the tallest agent. That's
You're
usually
right.
the protocol.
Absolutely.
And Steve, did you also notice that when they were trying to cover him, he was wiggling all around and trying to get his arm out? I mean, you know, he was like
He wasn't cooperating.
that. Yeah.
Well, he was trying to let his family and
Yes.
supporters, but primarily his family know he was alive.
Right.
I was
Exactly.
going to say, at that point, though, his adrenaline was running. He may have been a little
Absolutely.
bit of shock. I don't fault him for what he done.
Oh, I don't either. I would have done
mind
the same
either.
thing, probably.
Yeah, I would have.
Well, I do fault him that he's already come out with assassination sneakers, and he's trying to profit off his own assassination attempt. You know, and sensationalizing his own
I didn't
assassination
hear about
attempt.
that.
That seems a little
Assassination
ignorant to me.
sneakers.
I got to look this up.
Yeah, he's already come out with assassination sneakers where there's a picture of him holding his fist up, and they photo cropped all the agents out of it, and it's just him standing there with his fist up on the side of a tennis shoe. $300, you can get you a pair.
Well, I don't want any, but I'm not paying $300.
Oh, it's MSN story. Okay. MSN.
Yeah. And he did that before he called the family of the man who lost his life there behind him.
Did he do that? Do you think
He may not have done that.
Do you
Let's-
think that
let's
he
just say
did that?
It may have
Okay.
been his organization, but you think he would have said he had to at least approve it.
No, they do not.
Yeah.
They're a public figure. They do not have to approve those kinds of things, believe it or not. It's disgusting, but they do not.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But Trump's kind of a control freak. I would have a hard time without seeing absolute evidence that he did not know that those sneakers were coming out.
I would like to see evidence that he did know.
It's a
Well,
Donald Trump
it's
owned
his sneakers, and
company.
he's advertising them, and he posted it on Truth Social.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I mean, if that ain't enough evidence for you that he knew about it, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But at any rate, yeah. So there's, but the main thing I wanted to point out was that the female agent was, it looked like she was doing what needed to be done instead of that was the plan.
Yep.
Another thing I wanted to touch on was I noticed that you were talking about all the people, the Democrats that are calling for Joe Biden to step down.
Yes.
How
Which
many
I disagree with,
Republicans
by the
have
way.
said Trump is not qualified for office? You know, his former vice president said he's not qualified. 40 of his 43 top cabinet officials said he's not qualified. His own current vice president pick called him the American Hitler. But you're fixating on a few Democrats that say Joe Biden's old and slow and may need to step down.
No, we actually talked about
I
those.
think both of them are getting criticized by the party, but I believe Trump's getting a lot more criticism from Republicans than Joe Biden's getting from Democrats.
We covered we talked quite a bit about it over the last, when he was in office and after he got out of office, 6 debacle. We talked about quite a bit about the number calling for him to go away, not to run, not to do this. And we did that. That was that was the topic of conversation.
I agree, but I'm just saying at the current moment, you're shining a bright light on the few Democrats that are calling for Biden to step down.
Well, that's because the
And
media
I'm
is
not saying
doing
they're
it.
not right. I'm not saying they're not right, but there's a tremendous pushback from the Republicans against their candidate as well.
There was.
You know,
There was.
there still is.
Not much. What I've seen over the
It's
past
just
week
because
is.
you don't watch it. You don't see it. You know, you
Oh, I
see
don't see
I
it.
mean, what about the
okay.
Lincoln Project? which
You
the
only
Christian
see one
conservatives are
thing,
running ahead?
Steve. You only see one thing.
I'm not going to say that you're not wrong, because I always like to leave the door open for me to be wrong. You know, that's always possible. But there are a tremendous amount of Republicans that are not going to vote for Trump.
I'm sure there are.
You know,
And there's already been said.
Once
there's.
again,
Go ahead.
look at all the administration officials that have spoke out against Trump, and there's nothing like that on the other side. Nothing like that. You know, I mean, is his former vice president saying that he's not going to support him being president again? No.
Well, let's look at it this way for just a second, Steve. There is nobody in the current Biden administration, this staff or on the boards, that he is able to choose and pick who's going to come out and publicly denounce this president. Not at this time. There's no way. They didn't do it when Trump was in office. If they had, they would not have been there any longer. That's just the way it is. You work for the man, you work for the man.
Valid point. But it don't change that we are where we are, that they have come out and said this about him, and nobody's came out and said that about Biden.
Well, not yet.
So,
just
I
wait.
mean, not yet. Not yet. But not yet is that's not a guarantee.
Well, what's going to be
I can
scary?
guarantee you the ones about Trump, because they've already done it.
What's going to be?
You know, and I concede you may be right about in the future that there may be people who say that about Biden, but we're not there yet.
It's just exactly like when Obama was no longer in office. The number of people, the staffers who came out and said the things that they said. How about when the Clintons were in office, and when they were not in office any longer, the reports of the damage to rooms in the White House that Hillary did and went crazy on. How about all of those people, the staffers who did things like that? Even retired Secret Service agents were talking about it. So yeah, once they're not there anymore, they got no control. And they got no way to shut these people up.
Well, I want to interject if I may. Have we not all week long been talking about various Democratic leaders by name who have publicly said that they're urging Joe to step down because they do not feel he's capable of doing the job? Have we not this whole week been talking about it?
We have been, because the media is talking about it,
That's
because
right.
these people have gone very public. They stand in front of cameras, they get reports, and they do all of that. So if it's something that becomes in their minds newsworthy, we're going to be talking about it.
Well, and I agree with that. I understand that, and I'm not necessarily blaming y'all. And I'm saying all commentary in general, even the liberal media, is fixating on these people that are standing up saying,
they
Joe
are.
Biden should step down. And the reason why I believe that, and this is my opinion, is because that's unusual. Trump has people coming out against him all the time. That's not newsworthy. But a Democrat coming out saying Joe Biden should step down, that's newsworthy, and all the media is talking about it.
Especially for a man that's in office, for them to come out and make those comments. I'm old and I don't recall anything like this ever.
I agree with you there. I'm seeing a whole lot of things I ain't never seen, from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But at any rate, like I say, if you go through the scorecard, it's not to me, it's not as big a story as they're trying to make it out to be. It's just a big story because that's not normal for the Democrats.
When there was a
but
professor,
once again, that's opinion. I'm sorry.
there was a journalism professor one time, broadcast journalism professor in this particular case that I know, and he's down at the University of Georgia, Grady School of Broadcasting, and I've known him for a long time. He told me the story about one day he's in the classroom, and we got to understand people who want to be TV reporters or radio reporters, and these days it's mostly TV reporters. And he said, one person stood up and said, listen, how can I decide, or how should you decide what is newsworthy today and what we should be covering today? He said, you ask your assignment manager. He or she is the one that goes through and looks and decides what news is going to come out of that station on that day, period. Done.
Yep.
One person makes that decision with some help from the news director generally, because in my case, I was the news director, but generally we would go, well, we went over it first together, but he is the one who handed out the assignments. So therefore he or she was in charge. Done.
Right.
Was it always right? No, you ain't never going to get anything always right. You not, I'm not.
Right. And I concede to your opinion. We both have an opinion about it, and mine may vary slightly from yours, but mine is no more valid.
Or less valid than mine.
Right. But anyway, that, like I say, that was my opinion part. My last point I want to talk on right quick is something that Tim said yesterday when he called in after me, is that talking about election fraud, said that all the evidence does not support his opinion, but he still feels that his opinion is true. And I get that. I understand that, having that feeling. I've had that feeling before as well. But once your opinion has been proven not true, and you continue to hold that opinion, what is the difference between that and a person who is just going around saying something that ain't true?
Okay, let me just ask you a question then.
Whoa.
1963, we had a guy named Kennedy killed, right? There was a Warren Commission that came out with the results of that investigation and met. Yeah, they came out in the public every now and then, saw daylight. But they came out and said this was a lone assassin. There was one guy with a rifle, an old World War II Italian rifle that was not really good in the first place, but he shot and killed the president of the United States. And y'all should believe it because we're the Warren Commission. How many people did you, or do you still believe what they said? Or do you have a feeling, regardless of the evidence that's been presented, do you have a feeling that maybe that was a cover-up?
I don't have a feeling that it was a cover-up. I will concede that almost anything is possible. So I'm not going to say that if that it can't be true. But the facts as I know them dispute that.
Do you believe that Jack Ruby acted alone of his own accord when he made his way into the circle? The perpetrator was going to be walked to a vehicle to be transferred, and had a gun, a .38 caliber revolver, in his pocket that he pulled out and shot Jack Ruby shot Lee Harvey Oswald to death. Do you believe that story as presented? Even though all the facts point at it, all the facts that they have gathered pointed that.
I would concede to the facts, and you can have an opinion about maybe that seems fishy, or maybe and I understand what you're going at. I get that side of it. But if there are facts that absolutely prove what you're saying isn't true over and over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
At what point as adults are you going to concede that what you're saying may not be true, even though you feel a certain way?
I just feel like they didn't tell me the truth. They did not look at me in the eye, Steve. They did not look at me and say, tell me and convince me. They have not been able to do that. I mean, but what if, two biggest words in the dictionary when put together, what if it went down this way? Suppose the Russians did have suppose they were channeling money to his wife.
You're going into a lot of hypotheticals that
people do it all the
can't
time.
be proven.
News
But
media.
What I'm saying is probably can't be proven.
Cannot be
But when
proven.
you're talking about election fraud, that's something you can check, verify, and get an absolute answer on.
Based on what?
Things you're talking about are things that would require, us discovering evidence somewhere. We have the evidence to verify the vote.
We have the evidence to verify the votes with, let me do this first, okay? We have the evidence to verify that the number of votes that were cast, regardless of whatever election fraud claims that were made, and some that were discovered, not fraud necessarily, but, failures to do right. We know that there were not enough votes that could have made a difference, even if they had been fraud. We know there were not enough votes cast and categorized as false that would have made any difference in the world. That's the bottom line, okay? So the president was
right.
But was there fraud? Yeah, we've known. Was there any great
Well, there were irregularities, yes. Were there
well,
some
how,
instances
and the woman in Chicago says she voted for herself, her mother, and her grandmother, and whoever else because they couldn't get to the polls.
Right.
So
you didn't let me finish.
Yeah,
There
go
are
ahead.
irregularities and some instances of individual fraud, but nothing to rise to the claim that they made, which was widespread fraud.
That's
and
the point.
election was stolen.
That's exactly the
And
point.
that's a big difference. That's a big difference between what their claim is and what you're saying.
But what if, as some of the conspirators will say, what if, Steve, there were 5,000 or 50,000, 100,000 people just like this woman who voted 5 times or 7 times or what? What if? So you understand,
Well, here's the
there
thing.
are the conspirators, theorists that are going to come up with that all the time. Ignore them.
But didn't that woman get caught?
Yeah, I wish she fessed up on TV. Yes,
I'm
and she
just
got
saying that we
caught.
know about those people because they got caught because the system catches even those small.
They didn't catch her. She fessed up to it on TV. She bragged about it, and then they went and checked.
I got you.
She's
I got
dumb.
you. But once again, that would take it goes into logistics too big to rig. How
Yep.
many people would they have to coordinate with and keep that quiet?
There's
To be able to do
the
that.
last phrase you just said, to keep that quiet. That's the point. Ain't nobody, not everybody in a scheme is going to keep it quiet. Right?
Right.
Loose lips sink ships.
Once again, it's kind of too big to rig. If it was a bunch of individuals like that voting 4 or 5 times, it would have took millions.
Yep. Gotcha.
Doing it.
That's what I'm pointing out.
To justify the claim. That's what I'm saying. The claim that they're still making, I think, is part of why people still believe it a little bit. Is because they're still getting up there claiming it, and the reason why we're still talking about it is because they're still getting up there claiming that it was stolen.
That's not going to go away.
Yeah, I'm ready to let it go. It was a
Well,
lie.
it is for you, but
I
it's not
know
going
it
to
was
go
a
away.
lie. We'll move on, but they keep talking about it.
Well, then ignore it. That's what I try to do.
Well, does it make a person a bad person if they believe that?
No. I mean, if that's their
I don't
Whether
think it
they're
makes them
right
a
or
bad
wrong.
person, but I mean, if we're having a debate in good faith, even if you believe something's true, if you're presented with evidence that shows you're wrong, you're supposed to concede at that point until you can prove otherwise.
Yeah.
And they're not doing that. They're not acting in good faith. They're saying, I don't care what your evidence is, I'm right and you're wrong.
Yeah, go sit down on any criminal case sometime and just look at the
Oh,
jurors and see what the end result is there.
Yes.
They're going to argue to the end of the world,
Right.
Good gracious.
That's right.
And they'll always believe their innocence or their guilt.
We are so late.
Yep, we're late.
Gotta go.
Steve, gotta go.
Well, thank you. You guys have a blessed weekend.
You too. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
I said with cool, Cool Bobby B, Jacksonville, Onslow County, and beyond, you have found the official station for the Doo-Wop Stop. Heard Saturday nights, 7 till 10, right here on Freedom 97.1 WSME and worldwide at WSME971.com. Join me as we play the absolute best and greatest doo-wop songs of all time. Saturday night, 7 till 10. Get connected now at doowopstop.com.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday. The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
If you are looking to purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV without the high pressure, Onslow County Motor Company, 1639 Lejeune Boulevard, may be the dealership for you. At Onslow County Motor Company, they want to help you buy a car, truck, or SUV, not just sell you one. Buying a car, truck, or SUV should be enjoyable, and the folks at Onslow County Motor Company will do their best in making your car buying experience fun and relaxed. Check out their inventory online at ocmc.us or visit them at 1639 Lejeune Boulevard. All vehicles are hand-selected, and a standard warranty comes with most vehicles, with extended warranties available, and Carfax is free. Stop by and visit Ben, Brandon, Travis, or Terry. They will gladly answer all your questions about a particular model. Financing? Well, Zeke will finance most anybody. Great selection, great people. Onslow County Motor Company, 1639 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, where customers send their friends.
Call today, 910-355-7066. The excitement of baseball has arrived in Jacksonville with the Jacksonville Ospreys Summer Collegiate Baseball Team. Playing their games in inaugural season at Jack Emmett Park in Jacksonville. Bring your family and friends. Catch the fun with games, promotions, and special events. Grab season passes, online tickets, and game times at JacksonvilleOspreys.com. Tickets just $10 at the gate. This summer, swing on over and score some fun with your own Jacksonville Ospreys.
If you're a biker or motorcycle enthusiast and love the mountains of North Carolina, then the Clarkton Motel in beautiful Maggie Valley, North Carolina, in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains, is the place for you. You see, the Clarkton Motel is biker-owned and offers bike tours through some of the most beautiful and breathtaking scenery in the world. While visiting, you may want to visit the Wheels Through Time Museum. Wheels Through Time is home to the world's premier collection of rare American vintage motorcycles and houses over 300 of America's rarest and most historic classic motorcycles, including the likes of Harley-Davidson, Indian, Excelsior, Henderson, and many more. The Clarkton Motel has a pool, kitchens, and king and queen size beds are available and offers Sunday through Thursday discounts. That's the Clarkton Motel, 1527 Soco Road, Maggie Valley, North Carolina. For reservations, phone 1-800-787-6998. Visit www.motorcyclefriendlymotel.com.
This is Bill from Bill Cycle Salvage in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and I approve this message.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back. Marine forecast is brought to you like it is twice a day about this time of day by Community Prevention Services. The latest stats, I talked to them about it the last hour. They are really scary and they should be disturbing. They're disturbing to me because, it could be somebody I know or somebody that you know. God forbid it won't be a relative. 200 people, 200 Americans in this country die of fentanyl overdoses. Now, you know where those fentanyl comes from, right?
Oh, sure. Yes.
It comes in bulk, most of it from China, if not all. Manufactured in China. Why? I have no clue. Ends up down in Mexico. And then it's made into pills. They got something they call pill presses. You feed the raw product in a powder, you stamp it, and then in the stamping process, it's got something that says, I don't know, Tylenol or hydrocodone or whatever. Some of it's prescription, some of it is not.
Right.
But they will stamp these pills. Then they sell it. They ship it into this country with drug mules and all sorts of ways. Most of it comes in the form of pills. And then it's sold all over the country. We have it in Onslow County. We have it in every county in this state. We have people dying.
Yes, we do.
200 a day across the United States. That's preventable, but not till we close the border. But that's not the whole point here. If you want to know a little bit more about this stuff, if you want to know a lot more about this and other drugs, if you want to know about vaping, you want to know what damage that's causing, what else is being done, what else is being used, you need to give the folks there at Community Prevention Services a call. They're locally owned and operated. They're located at 918 Henderson Drive. They're there for you. They got counselors there. They got counselors that really want to help you. It starts with education. If you're not educated as to these drugs, even if you're not the intended victim, but you've got a loved one, you've got a kid, and they come and talk to you, they're going to need some help. This is not a government-run operation. Most insurance plans are accepted. You need to get educated. Give them a call today, 910-353-0972. 910-353-0972. They accept most insurance plans, and everything is strictly confidential. Offshore today, about to 20 nautical miles, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 4 feet, 4-foot waves from the south every 6 seconds. Not a bad day. Just be sure you exercise caution, especially around the inlets. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 4 feet. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Pretty okay for the first day of the 8-day Carteret Community College Spanish Mackerel Tournament. 5 o'clock this afternoon is the last chance to enter this fun-filled family event. All you got to do is Google Carteret Community College Spanish Mackerel Tournament for all of the details. Sunday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4. Second day of the tournament, sounds even better. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
In today's weather, showers and thunderstorms are likely. Mostly cloudy skies with a high near 87. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 73. Showers and thunderstorms are expected. Saturday, showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 90. And Monday, showers and thunderstorms are likely, but it's going to be sunny with a high near 89.
Yeah, not as bad as it has been. That 98 this week, couple of days was
it was
kind
brutal.
of impressive. We got two callers. Caller number one, you're
I
up.
think it's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Maybe Chris.
Chris, that's not you?
Hello?
There you are.
There he is.
Oh, no, this is Mike.
Hey,
Oh,
Mike.
it's Mike. Okay, Chris is on the other line.
How y'all doing this morning?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
All right. I'm doing great. I just had some commentary about last night's RNC speech from the president.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My other things. I know the whole plan was to come out and come off as somber, as a changed person and all this. But you could tell like it was all low energy from start all the way to about halfway.
then he started getting into his Trumpian stuff. He started going off script a lot. That's why the speech is so long, because he went off script so much. There was reports from the audience of people getting bored looking at the teleprompter when it's going to end. The people started leaving well before he even finished. So that's one thing that I had noticed and caught from people that's actually on the floor. Another thing with J.D. Vance. So J.D., in his book, if you read it, I believe it's called Redneck Apathy, where it's talking about his people, his family, people that's around and where he come from, that they're doing bad because they lost the will to work and stuff like that. Pretty much putting them down. But then on stage, he sit there and blame Biden for the reason why they're in the predicament that they are. So it's like, which one is it? But then he goes off, he goes to Yale, he moves to San Francisco of all places, and some other things that we ain't got enough time to get into. But I noticed those things. And then the last thing was Hulk Hogan. The choice to have Hulk Hogan on stage, the optics, GOP and their optics, I mean, they really got to work on it.
I love Hulk Hogan.
Black vote. Yeah, if you're trying to win the black vote and you're trying to win over women, he's probably not the best person to put on stage, given his national issue that happened with his court case and all that he made. That's on videotape recording that you can easily find yourself. And what you did to women, that's well documented. Still entertaining and all that, but the optics of it was horrible for mine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's your opinion.
I understand where you're coming from, but I have a different outlook. Hulk Hogan did make a racial comment. It was many years ago. It was during a domestic dispute, which should have remained private when you have these domestic arguments. He made amends for it. He's grown from it since then. But, you know, had it not been for someone feeling it was so important to take a personal video and put it all out there for everybody, we would have never known. Just like the race car driver, Kyle Larson, used a derogatory name while he was with his buddies and doing this video type racing back when COVID was. And from what he said, I know he wasn't using it in a derogatory way, but he used the word. He was fired. He went to counseling. He started joining groups. He learned how hurtful it was using that word. He's come back into racing. He's just about number one on the charts right now in the racing world. He's become a different person. And I think just because somebody may have used a bad word in the past, they have a right to come back from it. And as far as Hulk Hogan, I love WWE. I know it's fake. It's entertainment. It's fun. I've always been a Hulk Hogan fan. I was very disappointed when that video came out because it just made me kind of like respect him a little bit less. But he's gone from there. And he's learned from there. And just like, I don't think there's one person in this entire world that at one time or another has used a word they should not have used.
How about you, Mike? Have you ever used a racial slur?
As a black man, I take it differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
The way I take it is like, all right, you are who you are. And there should be no excuse for what you did. Yes, he has a right to come back from it. But once again, the optics of the GOP.
Have you ever used a racial slur towards a white man?
Towards a white man?
Yeah, towards a white man.
No, I never have.
You never called a white man a cracker, a honky?
No, I never did.
Okay.
Never did. So I don't engage in that. I don't use, the other way around. You know what I mean? But as far as him, it's like the GOP could have picked anyone, but they choose to pick him.
Well, I will tell you
that they probably didn't consult you, Mike.
Trump and Hulk Hogan.
They're trying to get my vote.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, right? They're trying to get my vote.
Well,
and
Trump-
That's what I'm saying, the optics.
Trump and Hulk Hogan have been friends for over 35 years. They're personal friends.
Yep.
So it's just like some of the other speakers were personal friends of Trump. And, you know, I have personal friends that will go to bat for me, even though maybe that friend might have done something years ago that I didn't agree with, but they're still my friend. And I think that's what we were looking at. I do not think that. And see, when Hulk Hogan came on the stage last night, you know what? I had forgotten. It never popped into my head about what had happened all those years ago. And the first time it popped into my head, Mike, is when you brought it up. And I understand completely what you're saying, but I don't think that the RNC did anything wrong with letting Hulk speak.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, Michael, you say is to get, they want your vote. What would it have taken to get your vote from the RNC for this convention? Anything that they could have done?
Well,
Probably
first,
not.
They could have better vet the people. They could have better vet the people that they're actually going to bring on stage and give that type of platform to.
Do you think
They could have started there.
Do you think that they could have picked a group of people that would please everybody out there, including you?
No.
You can't please everyone.
That's right.
Exactly.
But if your main pillar of your message is to garner our votes, then you should be appealing to that.
They're after everybody's vote. They're after mine too.
Well, my opinion.
They've been making it on my side, and I've been seeing the effort through black television, black social media, that they've been sending Don Juror to academics and all the other places to try to garner our vote. And they're making the effort to do it that way. You know, the Trump shoes and all that, which we take disrespectfully, by the way. It's like, it's inauthentic to us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when we see that happen, it's like, all right, guys, like, I get it, he's your friend, and you want him there, but you don't have to put him on stage.
Okay.
You know?
All right, Mike, thank you, sir.
Point at you. I understand what you're saying.
Chris, can you wait for us?
Disagree.
Are you still there, Chris?
It's not Chris.
Oh, it's not Chris.
Oh, this is Royce.
Hey, Royce.
Royce, that was my fault.
That's
am
two
so
times,
sorry.
Kelly. Well, I've got it wrong once now. There's two times that Lee's got it wrong. Can you wait for about 2 minutes? Let us do a couple commercials here.
Don't go away.
Sure.
All right, you're live and
thanks.
local. Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
I knew
Hey, this is Chris Rainer. Tune in later this morning at 9 a.m. for Sports Talk. As we start our high school football previews, we have Coach Jonathan Byrd of the White Oak Vikings, Coach Kelly Davis of the Dixon Bulldogs. We'll also be talking about the Woody's Roundup, Racing Report, and This Day of Sports on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City. Open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Safety on the highways begins with your tires. Before you hit the highway, the rest of this summer vacation season, visit Battlefield Tire Pros, 103 Norris Road, Highway 24 in Swansboro, and let them inspect your tires for your peace of mind before traveling. Since 1963, Battlefield Tire Pros has served our community and military neighbors with name brands such as Michelin, Uniroyal, Firestone, Goodyear, and many others, including a good selection of used tires. They also carry lawnmower tires, four-wheeler tires, and motorcycle tires. And alignment service is available by appointment. Save time and money by skipping the dealerships and the big box stores, and let locally owned and operated Battlefield Tire Pros in Swansboro handle all your tire and alignment needs. Battlefield Tire Pros at the corner of Norris Road and Highway 24 in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Phone 910-326-4178 or visit Battlefield Tire Pros online at battlefieldtirepros.com.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Tech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk every room in your home that's suitable for all pets. Details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following hot, and I mean hot specials at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down home, down the street, on your way to and from the beach in Maysville. How about half cut strip loin, just $8.99 a pound? Whole center cut shoulder cod, just $4.79 a pound. Western style ribs, the pork steaks are only $2.79 a pound. Whole Boston butt, just $1.79 a pound. And chicken thighs or drumsticks are only $1.29 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your Maysville Piggly Wiggly, and they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm chicken. Over in produce, fresh green snap beans, just 99 cents a pound. Athena whole cantaloupes, $2.99 each. You get a 1 pound package of fresh strawberries for just $2.99. Premium vine ripe tomatoes, just $1.79 a pound. Russet baking potatoes, just 99 cents a pound. And sweet and juicy nectarines or plums are just $1.89 a pound. And you get 3 6-packs of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $11. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down home, down the street, Main Street in Maysville, North Carolina. Remember, say big with the pig.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back. Microphone's spotted up. And what else? A lot of buttons over here this morning. You know that?
Sure is.
Hey, Royce, how are you?
Okay, how are you today?
Hi, Royce.
We're fine. Sometimes you got to know the right button.
Hey,
push at the right time.
ex-neighbor trader.
Sorry about that.
What you know? I understand
trying to get in.
she's looking at a house near you right now. She's gonna move.
Come on down.
Come on
I
down.
might find you one over here.
Ah.
Yeah. I wanted to get in right after Steve because I actually heard something he say that I could agree with, and I didn't want to miss the chance.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, he said that the lifetime bureaucrat Republicans did not like Donald Trump, and I think he's absolutely right about that. I don't know that that's a bad thing, so I'm all for that. And if they don't like him, then that's all right with me.
So that's a plus in
he's making
Trump's
a lot
corner.
of changes, and you know what? Bureaucrats don't like changes, so
That's a good
I'm
point.
with him on that one.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Good point.
Yeah.
I also want.
Go ahead.
I also want to mention the second thing that he loves to talk about, and that's the election irregularities. And I gotta ask him. I've never had a chance to ask him if he's watched 2,000 Mules, because I don't know how anybody can watch Dinesh D'Souza's 2,000 Mules and come away not understanding that there were some serious irregularities in that election that very well could have changed the outcome. And, if we can get Donald Trump reelected, I think that somebody will seriously investigate that. But it was a lot of the COVID stuff and a lot of the changes that Democrats were able to make because of COVID that hopefully won't be able to happen again. But you just, he says, oh, there's no evidence. Well, unless he's watched that, I don't want him to tell me there's no evidence, because he hasn't looked at all the evidence, so he doesn't know. So I think it's on YouTube even now. I think you can go on YouTube and watch it. So
is there anything that could be done right now, regardless of what investigations are done, that would change the outcome of that election right now?
There's not, and it doesn't matter a bit. But you gotta, to understand why that just wears on Donald Trump the way it obviously does.
I understand that.
I mean, and he's saying now is we got to be too big to rig. We gotta, because there are some states where they're still going to do this ballot harvesting, and they're going to be out there collecting people's signatures. Look, Rayford, you're a cop. You know that if one person gets caught cheating, there are thousands out there that didn't.
That's exactly what I want to point out. If you don't believe that, as simple as driving on I-40 from here to Raleigh, and you find two highway patrolmen with two cars pulled over, how many other cars went by you at 80 or faster?
That's
right. And the fact is that election was 30,000 votes. 10,000 votes in 3 different states. So, all they had to change millions of votes to get what they wanted.
Yep.
All they had to do was change about 10,000 votes in 3 different states, and it is what it is. But there are irregularities there that we just can't. I don't think you need to just totally discount them.
Well, I think that maybe when Mr. Trump, if he is successful in November and he is the next president of the United States, he should give it 4 years, shut up about it, move on. And at the end of his 4 years, he's retired and he's got money coming in, and he's got money that he doesn't have to have money coming in. He could mount his own investigation or hire enough people to do that and let them go do all of that work. Don't put the federal government to do it, because that's time consuming, and we don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay for it. It's over, it's done, and ain't nothing's going to happen that's going to change the outcome. But it would be nice to know. If I was in his shoes, that's the way I would do it. Got nothing else to do unless I want to go fishing.
That's a fact.
Maybe he wants to go
Personally, I'm past it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's over, and I'm not advocating, but I am advocating making sure it doesn't happen again. Making sure we get the laws in place to make sure that they can't do that again.
It's just like the situation in Pennsylvania last weekend. Whatever the misdeeds were, or not misdeeds, bad choice, whatever the weaknesses were, whatever went down that should not have gone down the way it did as far as security is concerned, we want to make sure that never, ever happens again. Already, they've said that those little golf range finders ain't going to be part of the, you can get through the line with this on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll bet.
So there are going to be things that will change.
Yeah.
And we don't know. We do not need to know. We should not know, because if I know and you know, then the foreign governments know, and the bad guys will know where our weaknesses are. We do not point out our weaknesses to the world. That's stupid. That's beyond dumb. That's stupid. Right?
That's true. Well, I really enjoyed Donald Trump's speech last night.
Interesting.
I thought it was great. I do think he was humbled a bit by being shot.
Oh, God, yes.
And that's probably a good thing. But if he gets elected, look, this fentanyl thing, we talk about fentanyl all the time, but if you reelect the Democrats, we're going to have the same thing. They're going to keep letting it come across the border. not going to stop. So if you want something to change, we got to change the administration.
How about you and the county commissioners get together and say, how about let's encourage our state legislatures to go ahead and get started on this death penalty thing again? And they don't have to buy anything, no drugs to put in those needles. Just take some of the seized product called fentanyl and use it.
You would think that would work. I don't know
It
why
works.
in the world. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't do that. That's a good idea.
Don't need a cocktail. Just go ahead and hook them up. Done. All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Royce, have
All
a good
right,
weekend.
all right.
Let's take a break. You're live in Local Real Talk. Oh, don't go away. We'll be right back.
WSME.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for summer. And you should be too, with the Cub Cadet Ultima Series. Come today and see how these zero-turn mowers have stepped up control, with traditional lap to a familiar steering wheel experience. Four-wheel control provides precision, maneuverability, and stability on a variety of terrains, including hills up to 20 degrees. Adjustable automotive-inspired high back seat lets you comfortably cut at your maximum speed, while a heavy-duty mowing deck powers your yard for a premium cut. Combine steering wheel control with premium features of the Cub Cadet Ultima Series, and you get a zero-turn mower ready to unlock the possibilities of your lawn. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and a superior service. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro can save you money on your automobile insurance with new options that are available now. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you are in good hands, like helping you customize your auto, home, and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own Home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate. More money on your automobile insurance today with Tammy. 910-326-5380. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local Carrier indoor weather team. Serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967, now offers commercial financing and residential financing as low as 0%. With hurricane season here, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Humphrey Heating and Air also does residential and commercial plumbing, air duct cleaning for better breathing, and services all brands of HVAC. Turn to the Carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning. With locations in Jacksonville and Hempstead, visit online humphreyheating.com. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
All right, we're on the way. We're right here, right now.
Yeah,
And,
running out of time here. I just need to make some announcements real quick.
Been a fast week.
Yes, it has been a super fast, and this morning flew by. Don't forget, tomorrow, the Onslow County Republican Men, this is not a political thing. They're going to be honoring first responders at 717 Court Street from 10 to 2 p.m. Free hot dogs, hamburgers.
Free
Please
hot
go
dogs and
by.
hamburgers.
Yes.
Cheese and chili.
Congressman Dr. Greg Murphy will be making an appearance around 11 a.m. And then also the Ospreys are out of town tonight. It's an away game tomorrow night. They're at home playing the Sand Hill Bogies. Gates open at 6 o'clock. First pitch is 7 p.m. They're doing a Christmas in July, and they're having an ugly tank top contest. Yeah, Christmas instead of the Christmas sweater, it's a tank top. And also prizes for the most hideous Christmas outfit. And last but not least, coming up next right after us is Sports Talk with Chris Rayner. Today's guests are Jonathan Boyd. He is the coach for the White Oak High School football team, and Kelly Davis for the Dixon High School football game. Chris is rolling off high school
he's ready to rock and roll.
today.
So hang in there for that. At 10 o'clock sometime during the 10 o'clock hour.
Yes.
After Chris and company finish up, there's going to be Rick Dees.
Yes.
And heading over to 3 o'clock this afternoon, another,
favorite.
our buddy, our little
My
buddy,
favorite.
Chris Hollywood Man.
Yes.
Right now, it's Fox News. We'll see you on Monday morning.
USME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.